Do you often find yourself scrolling sites, trying to find a good deal on a used camera, kinda hoping you do, but also hoping you don't because you know you're gonna waste your money? 2005 Canon S80, the camera you can impulse buy without remorse. Do you have a camera you can take everywhere with you? And I mean everywhere? Well, I mean, yeah, you do. It's your phone. But your phone doesn't necessarily take
images.
You see, this Canon absolutely does. In fact, most old compact point-and-shoot digicams do. The problem is just finding the right one for you. Have you ever picked up a nicely weighted pen and thought, wow, I want to write all of a sudden? This Canon is kind of like that. It's small, but it has such a beautiful metal build that just feels really premium and has some weight to it, while not being a burden in your bag. It just feels more like a special instrument than most all digicams do. Quote-unquote digicams are usually cool in the way that using an MP3 player instead of Spotify is cool. It's kind of different and nostalgic. Well, this Canon is sort of like that, but I would also argue it holds up surprisingly well as a serious compact camera in 2025. This is the point-and-shoot we totally did not deserve in 2005. Way back 20 years ago when this was new, it costed around $500, which is over $800 in today's money. That's a solid mid-range point-and-shoot price, and that indicates that you're getting a great deal when you get this today, considering these can easily be had for under $100 on sites like Facebook and even eBay. And it's not like the materials used in cameras have come a super long way since 2005, so you're getting a really solid feeling camera at a very reasonable price. It's like you're buying a 20-year-old Mercedes used. I mean, not really, but anyway, here are some JPEGs. You can look forward to the first ever official patent pending JPEG score right after the break. Okay, so JPEGScore isn't actually just about JPEG quality, which is kind of misleading. It's more so a copy of Doug Nemuro's DougScore. But here we are. So for the first category in price, I think this camera is actually really well priced right now for what it is. 9 out of 10. Speed is overall kinda average. The autofocus and general operation speed will not blow you away, but it also won't get in your way too much. You do need to wait for the camera to focus in low light situations, but other than that, it is a snappy enough camera. 5 out of 10. Battery is not a strong point. Yes, the battery life itself might actually be alright, but the fact that it uses an old proprietary battery means that it's probably just a matter of time before you cannot buy these batteries brand new. 3 out of 10. Storage is poor. All it's compatible with is a 4GB SD card at maximum. Link in description for the card I got. 2 out of 10. The lens is also just kinda average. I do like how wide it goes at 28mm equivalent, and the 100mm zoom is pretty good, but the clarity of the lens is just kinda decent to me. Max aperture is not very wide, and obviously you can't change the lens. 5 out of 10. So those last 5 categories were the boring categories. Now let's talk about the enthusiast categories. Size and build are awesome, literally perfect for a digicam. It's a pocket-sized metal brick that has weight to it while being light enough to be comfortable in a backpack or pocket. 10 out of 10. Handling is okay, the viewfinder is almost useless to me, and the grip is awkward considering it's a brick shape. I do love how you slide to turn it on, however. Controls are also pretty intuitive, and the circular dial to go through the menus is way more fun than a D-pad. 6 out of 10. JPEGs straight out of camera are damn good. That's a big strength of classic Canon digicams, and this is no exception. Great colors, great vibe. 8 out of 10. Features are essentially non-existent other than some minor color settings and the addition of a custom selection in the PSAM dial. No raw photos, no built-in ND, no in-camera editing, and even though it has a decent built-in flash, it's a 2 out of 10. Fun factor is actually pretty high on this thing. It feels more premium than the used price suggests, and the photos come out really nicely without any editing. However, there aren't too many interesting quirks that stand out in the operating experience. 7 out of 10. So that brings us to an overall score of 57 out of 100, which is actually pretty darn solid when you consider the price of this camera. Well, to be fair, I can't really judge that score because I haven't scored any other cameras yet, so stay tuned for that. You're getting a solid camera that sure doesn't really keep up with today's or even yesterday's point-and-shoots in terms of battery life or features, but it definitely will deliver wonderful JPEGs, and I'll let you take a guess at what my channel is pretty much all about. Buy a Canon S80! That's right, I'm feeding into your gas.